Isaiah chapters 14 through 16. For the Lord will have compassion on Jacob, and will choose Israel again. He will settle them on their own land. The resident alien will join them and be united with the house of Jacob. The nations will escort Israel and bring it to its homeland. Then the house of Israel will possess them as male and female slaves in the Lord's land. They will make captives of their captors and will rule over their oppressors. When the Lord gives you rest from your pain, torment, and the hard labor you were forced to do, you will sing this song of contempt about the king of Babylon and say, how the oppressor has quieted down and how the raging has become quiet. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked. The scepter of the rulers is struck the peoples in anger with unceasing blows. It subdued the nations in rage with relentless persecution. The whole earth is calm and at rest. People shout with a raging cry. Even the cypresses and the cedars of Lebanon rejoice over you. Since you have been laid low, no lumberjack has come against us. Sheol below is eager to greet your coming, stirring up the spirits of the departed for you all, the rulers of the earth, making all the kings of the nations rise from their thrones. They all respond to you, saying, you too have become as weak as we are. You have become like us. Your splendor has been brought down to Sheol, along with the music of your harps. Maggots are spread out under you, and worms cover you. Shining morning star, how you have fallen from the heavens. You destroyer of nations, you have been cut down to the ground. You said to yourself, I will ascend to the heavens. I will set up my throne above the stars of God. I will sit on the mount of the God's assembly in the remotest parts of the north. I will ascend above the highest clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. But you will be brought down to Sheol, into the deepest regions of the pit. Those who see you will stare at you. They will look closely at you. Is this the man who caused the earth to tremble, who shook the kingdoms, who turned the world into a wilderness, who destroyed its cities and would not release the prisoners to return home? All the kings of the nations lie in splendor, each in his own tomb, but you are thrown out without a grave, like a worthless branch, covered by those slain with the sword, and dumped into a rocky pit like a trampled corpse. You will not join them in burial, because you destroyed your land and slaughtered your own people. The offspring of evildoers will never be mentioned again. Prepare a place of slaughter for his sons, because of the iniquity of their ancestors. They will never rise up to possess a land, or fill the surface of the earth with cities. I will rise up against them. This is the declaration of the Lord of armies. And I will cut off from Babylon her reputation, remnant, offspring, and posterity. This is the Lord's declaration. I will make her a swampland and a region for her herons. And I will sweep her away with the broom of destruction. This is the declaration of the Lord of armies. The Lord of armies has sworn, as I have purposed, so it will be. As I have planned, it will be. It will happen. I will break Assyria in my land. I will tread him down on my mountain. Then his yoke will be taken from them, and his burden will be removed from their shoulders. This is the plan prepared for the whole earth, and this is the hand stretched out against all the nations. The Lord of armies himself has planned it. Therefore, who can stand in its way? It is his hand that is outstretched, so who can turn it back? In the year that King Ahaz died, this pronouncement came. Don't rejoice, all of you in Philistia, because the rod of the one who struck you is broken. For a viper will come from the root of a snake, and from its egg comes a flying serpent. Then the firstborn of the poor will be well fed, and the impoverished will lie down in safety. But I will kill your root with hunger, and your remnant will be slain. Wail, you gates! Cry out, city! Tremble with fear, all Philistia! For a cloud of dust is coming from the north, and there is no one missing from the invaders' ranks. What answer will be given to the messengers from that nation? The Lord has founded Zion, and his oppressed people find refuge in her. A pronouncement concerning Moab. Ar in Moab is devastated, destroyed in a night. Kir in Moab is devastated, destroyed in a night. Dibon went up to its temple to weep at its high places. Moab wails on Nebo and at Medeba. Every head is shaved, every beard is chopped short. In its streets they wear sackcloth. On its rooftops and in its public squares everyone wails, falling down and weeping. Heshbon and Elealeh cry out. Their voices are heard as far away as Jahaz. Therefore the soldiers of Moab cry out, and they tremble. My heart cries out over Moab, whose fugitives flee as far as Zoar. In Eglath, Shelishiyah, they go up the ascent of Luhith, weeping. They raise a cry of destruction on the road up to Heronium. The waters of Nimrim are desolate. The grass is withered. The foliage is gone, and the vegetation has vanished. So they they carry their wealth and belongings over the wadi of the willows. For their cry echoes throughout the territory of Moab. Their wailing reaches Eglaim. Their wailing reaches Beerlin. The waters of Dibon are full of blood. But I will bring on Dibon even more than this, a lion for those who escape from Moab, and for the survivors in the land. Send lambs to the ruler of the land, from Selah in the desert, to the mountain of daughter Zion, like a bird fleeing forced from the nest. The daughters of Moab will be at the fords of the Arnon. Give us counsel and make a decision. Shelter us at noonday with shade that is as dark as night. Hide the refugees. Do not betray the one who flees. Let my refugees stay with you. Be a refuge for Moab, for the aggressor. When the oppressor has gone, destruction has ended. And marauders have vanished from the land. A throne will be established in love, and one will sit on it faithfully, in the tent of David, judging and pursuing what is right, quick to execute justice. We have heard of Moab's pride, how very proud he is. His haughtiness, his pride, his arrogance, and his empty boasting. Therefore, let Moab wail. Let every one of them wail for Moab. You who are completely devastated, mourn for the raisin cakes of Kir Hareseth, for Heshbon's terraced vineyards and the grapevines of Sibma have withered. The rulers of the nations have trampled its choice vines that reached as far as Jazer and spread to the desert. Their shoots spread out and reached the sea. So I join with Jazer to weep for the vines of Sibma. I drench Heshbon and Elealeh with my tears. Triumphant shouts have fallen silent over your summer fruit and your harvest. Joy and rejoicing have been removed from the orchard. No one is singing or shouting for joy in the vineyards. No one tramples grapes in the winepresses. I have put an end to the shouting. Therefore, I moan like the sound of a lyre for Moab, as does my innermost being for Kir Heres. When Moab appears and tires himself out on the high place and comes to his sanctuary to pray, it will do him no good. This is the message that the Lord previously announced about Moab. And now the Lord says, in 3 years, as a hired worker counts years, Moab's splendor will become an object of contempt. In spite of a very large population, and those who are left will be few and weak.